Hello all and welcome. I wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through the student view of Google Classroom to give you an idea what a student sees when they log in and how they access materials and turn in materials. First thing you want to do is navigate to Clever to log in through Clever. You can do that from the district webpage or from any of the school web pages. We're going to select Login with Google. Type in that first name dot last name at smyrnaeagles.org and the password as SSD lunch number. Make sure the SSD is capitalized. Once you're in Clever, you're going to scroll down and you'll find the Google apps, and the first one will be Google Classroom. Click it. You're going to get this little login information. Go ahead and hit click Go to Google Classroom. Select the account and it'll bring you into the classroom. Depending on your child's teacher, you may have multiple classes, so you're going to have to first look for the class that you want to log into that day. You do that simply by clicking the tile. Once you're in the classroom, the students will be brought to the stream page. The stream page gives them information about the current things happening in the classroom. To the left, you're going to have work, due dates, when things need to be turned in by. If your teacher has it turned on, your student might be able to share something with the class by clicking the link and clicking post. Anything shared with the class does not get turned in, it does not get graded, and it is viewable to everybody in the classroom. If your teacher posts updates on the classroom, you will find them here as well. You can read the update, and if the teacher has it turned on, the student can respond to the update as well. They post by clicking the little airplane icon. Again, this will be viewable to everybody in the classroom. It is not turned in for grading. It does not go into the grade book or anything like that. It's just there for quick responses, quick kind of check-ins with the students. Depending on how the classroom is set up, you may see a full view of these, or they may be condensed where you're only seeing updates. The teacher can also have it turned on where it'll post new assignments, and you'll see new assignments on this page as well. But for students, really where you want to spend your time is in the classwork page. The classwork page is going to have all of the information your teacher has assigned, the order that they want it done in, and the different subject areas. To the left, you're going to find topics. If your teacher is using topics, you can click on these topics to get to just those materials. So if you want to work on reading today, you click the reading topic and it'll bring you just to what's in the reading topic. All topics will show you everything that's available for the students to work on. So let's take a look at a couple of different assignments that you could have. This assignment is a question. I know that because it simply has a question mark in the box. This is an assignment or a quiz based on the icon. You may also see materials, which would look like a bookmark, which is just a material for your students to look at. All of these are things that can be turned in for grading by your student. Clicking on the highlighted area will take you into view more details, and then you can actually view the question or assignment by clicking here. This is where students can easily get confused because there's a lot going on this page. Up top is the question that your teacher has posed. Underneath that is class comments. If you type your answer in this box, it's not going to get turned in for grading. The teacher will see it, but it's not going to be available in the grade book or be recorded as being completed. This is where, if you're struggling with the assignment, you could post a question to your teacher or your classmates, and they would all see it and be able to respond back and forth. It's almost like a discussion board where you can discuss things back and forth. Private comments go to the teacher only. So class comments will be shown to everybody. Private comments would be if you just want to ask the teacher a question yourself and don't want anybody else to see that question, you can type it here and send it. This right-hand corner is where you're going to be turning in your work, and it's the same for most assignments. Since this is a question, students can actually type their answer right here. And you see when I do that, this turn in button becomes available. Once they're done with that, they can then press turn in. It's going to ask you just to make sure, are you sure you want to turn this in? Because once you do, you can't make changes to it unless the teacher pushes it back to you. You select yes, turned in, and it's going to show that it is turned in and that you have done that. And now you also can see your classmates' answers if that is available by your teacher. Navigating back, simply use this title page. It'll take you back to the stream and click classwork again. Coming down here, you have assignments. I have 3 sample assignments for you. We'll start with the first one because a lot of this depends on how the teacher has assigned the work, on how you turn the work in. The first one is a PDF assignment. It could also be an image. These are documents that you cannot type in, you cannot edit or change. What you would do is click View Assignment. You're going to see the PDF here. If I click that, it's going to open up that document. If I have the ability to print, at home, I can print that assignment out, complete it on paper, take a picture of it, and submit the picture of the completed work. Another option, again, on the right hand side, is this Add or Create button. So if I press Add, I can load a file. So if I printed this off and scanned it, I could load that scanned file back to the teacher. If I took a picture of my completed work, I could load that picture to the teacher here. And it works just like it would on a normal computer. You select it from your device, you select the article you want and open it, and you press upload. You see, as soon as I do that, I then get the turn in option on here. If I decide that's not what I want, I can delete that as long as I have not turned it in. The other option is under the Add or Create is to actually add a document. So if you come down here and create a document, Google will actually create a blank document for you. Then you simply click that document to open it. Now I have a Google document that I can type in, and I could simply type my answers to each question. And you see when I do that, if you look up in the top right hand corner again, that turn in option is there for you. Once you're done typing this, say I read the article, I did my answers on a separate piece of paper, and then I come in here and type all of my answers in. I press turn in, it's going to bring me back here and ask me again, do you want to turn this in? I can say yes, and then your work is done. Now, depending on your teacher, there may be an unsubmit button where you decided, oh, I made a mistake or I forgot something, and you can pull that back out and work on it. Your teacher may have that turned off where you can't get it back unless they send it back to you. One thing to be aware of as you work in this, it tends to open up new tabs. So you could end up with a lot of tabs going on. You can simply close out some of these and get back to where you originally were working on. Taking a look at a different kind of assignment, again, if I click it, it's going to bring me into the details. If I click View Assignment, it's going to bring me to the actual assignment. You see again, I have the Add or Create button. Mark is done. If I mark as done, it doesn't actually turn anything in. It just shows the teacher that you read something. So if your teacher gave you an article just to read that you didn't do anything else with, you could read the article, mark it as done, and not have to worry about it beyond that point. If your teacher wants you to submit something though, do not mark it as done until you actually have submitted something to your teacher. In this case, the teacher actually attached a document for the kids to work on. So if I click that, it's going to open up that document. Since this was attached as a document, they may need to request editing access if the teacher didn't share it with editing access, or they can do File and make a copy of that document. Once they have the ability to edit it, they can type into the document. Notice in this case, there is no turn in button. So what you would have to do is come back to that assignment, that Add or Create, and this time, since you already made the document, you would go to Google Drive, and you're going to find that document sitting right there. I select it, I select Add, and now I get the option to turn it in. And then once you're done, you can see it's turned in. The third option is that the teacher actually gives you a document to work in. Clicking that document, you will get the turn in option there as well. They can actually work in here, and then they press turn in. It's always going to ask them a second time to make sure, are you sure you're ready to turn this in? Yes, I am, and it's done. So really there's three ways that you could be working in this, and it all depends on how your teacher has set up the work and set up the assignments. Everything that you're doing though should be within that right-hand corner of the document, either adding or submitting a file or working directly in the document the teacher has given you. Of course, if you don't have that option, reach out to your teacher and ask questions. Again, you can privately comment the teacher if you're having trouble or difficulty, or you can comment the class and ask the class for help as well. The third tab is People. There's really nothing that you can do with this tab other than see who is in this classroom. But again, most of your time is going to be spent in this classwork tab. Grayed out assignments mean that you have already turned these in, they're done. So you want to look for the assignments that are highlighted in the color. If I need to go back and switch to a different classroom, I can drop down over here, choose classes either here, or I can choose from my list of classes here. And Class Drive folder will open you up into your Google Drive, and you can see everything that you've submitted to the class within your Google Drive. That is what Google Classroom looks like from the student view. If you're working with your child at home as a parent, hopefully this video will give you some tips and tricks. As always, reach out for extra help.